next match was a signature role with Michael Oliver and David Compton.
Do you want me to leave?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a voice that you might have heard a few years ago. Dan Rush back in the commentary box, and I'm joined by David Hine.
Hi, Dan.
How are you doing?
Looking forward to this one, North East Derby.
Yeah, well, you know these players quite well, Dave. How do you see this one going? You were just looking at the odds there. You're going to give us an update on what they say?
Well, David being the professional, I presumed he'd go in favourite. Mike Oliver's a very good amateur player. I'm pretty sure these two have played each other on numerous occasions. David's had a few cash games. But it's only a short race, 1st to 7.
It is for a cash game anyway. And this competition is, these weekend tournaments, you've got to get off to a good start, give yourself every chance. That period of settling, you don't get it like you do in a money game, so you've got to be a solid, starter to give yourself every opportunity.
After watching a lot of the games, just like you find a lot of the top players, virtually all of them are quite tentative for the first 2 or 3 frames. Don't want to push the boat out too much.
Yeah.
You can't you can't obviously win a match in the first 3, but you can lose it.
Mm. Michael starting by going with reds. Looks to me that got a difficult finish on here, but that red and yellow might plant into the top right corner pocket, and if that's the case, he can just roll this in. Got the red now over the middle pocket, and if he cannons into it, the yellow will go down towards that pocket. Whether or not it drops, because if it doesn't drop, then he could be in trouble. But let's see how this works out for him. Now he might be looking at the double.
Double's a better option if he can land well on it.
As long as he can get to the angle, that's the thing. Needs to travel. He's looking at the back double. He's still got his eye on that. Not sure he'll take it now. He's losing the white. With that red over the bottom left pocket, though, it gives him an element of security.
It'd be unlucky to go in off here, but when you're ever playing into another ball off a double, you could double kiss and end up anywhere.
See how this goes. No. With it narrow. And again, look, if he had got it, he was in relative. He had a bit of work to do to get onto his last red, because he couldn't have gone for the one in the bottom left pocket. So, anyway, so David comes to the table. What can you tell us about the styles of these two players, David?
David seems to be all out attack from what I've seen.
Oh,
commentator's curse straight away.
Well, that's just a bit of.
He doesn't hang around. He plays very fast.
Yeah, and that can work in your favour sometimes, especially in a money game. I mean, if you can get on a roll like that, you're unstoppable, and you can put your opponent on the back foot. But in tournament play, for me, you just take your time. Like you were saying, the top players, they're tentative over the first few frames, and that settling period is really important.
And then they open their arm, let their arm go a little bit. So golden chance to take a 1-0 lead now. Only the black, that's got reasonable difficulty. Well, he's let that run a little bit too far. You're going to screw off the yellow?
Yeah, but the yellow's going over towards that red. Bit of fireworks going on here, let's see how he gets on. Needs to dink it.
Trusting down to look a little bit. He's played that well.
Yep. Position now is difficult though, on this black. Looks to me like he might have to go around the back of the yellow. Come out, leave the white. Depends, he might leave it somewhere near where it is now to play the double.
Looks like he's screwing straight back.
No, he's got to go around the back. Anywhere near where he was, no, that's not good enough. Needed it to be where it was.
Yeah, the double isn't on now and it looks very thin for a cut to the middle.
Oh, it won't go in the middle. Thinner than a sparrow's eyelash. I must credit Sid Widdell for that.
Very good.
Sid from a similar area to these two players.
Clean as well.
Aye.
Well, I can't see any other shot apart from the cut up the rail. I don't even think he can play the triple. I think the yellow might be in the way near the blue spot.
I think the cross triple could go, but I've had a better idea if I can. No, I think he's still double kissing it. For me, I think he's got to go for the cut with the right hand side to keep the white away from the middle pockets. But he doesn't like it, and you can see why. I just sat next to former IPA world champion Jack Whelan, and he said you're going to try and double it off the yellow. It'll be a hell of a shot. Good effort. It was a great spot as well. You can see why I used to invite him in this commentary box.
Yeah, great spot.
Turns into a different lad when he's got a mic in front of him.
Well, he's had a little bit of a run there. I think they've landed in a plant.
You play this cushion first. Into the yellow. Keeps him playing well. The balls are landing for him, Dave.
Certainly is having the run. He's very, when you watch him around the table, he plays a little bit like Jordan, not quite as refined, he's raw. It's the best expression for him.
He's part Welsh. All the Welsh lads play like that. Love watching
all of them.
They're fireworks. He's alright here. I mean, he's disappointed because he's losing his white, but he can play a 3-ball plant here and still be okay, I think. That's what he's got to take on. It's just awkward queuing. Chinese over this yellow on the bottom cushion.
Any contact on the right hand side of the middle red should knock the yellow in. Yeah, I think you're right there, Dan. There is something in the water over the west border. They all seem to play like lunatics. Although there is a very strong contingency from the northeast. There's about 30-35 of them on the IPA tour now. Yeah, he's played your shot, Dan. How's his luck?
Brilliant.
Wow.
You take that every day. For me, David, he's needed 3 chances and he's had 2 very good chances at this frame, and he's been out of position far too many times. Just,
see how hard he's hitting the ball.
Yeah. That was a good shot though, got himself in a good position here. Play this into the middle. Now he's got a nice angle. Stun out, probably for me. not, you know, he can come backwards and take the black into the middle bag. Yeah, again, he's just under it that a little bit.
Yeah, it's no problem, no.
So, safe to say that Michael will be disappointed to lose that frame.
I haven't seen Michael play on the stream before. There's always a little bit of added pressure. That's why I presume David would go in favourite, along with his professional status. A little bit more experience, maybe.
Just after that frame, just be interesting to see if the odds have changed. You managed to get your internet signal working. Oh, here we go. Kev's going to be disappointed here, but I'm not a betting man, and that means nothing to me. But I assume from that, it still has Michael as favourite.
Yeah, the odds haven't changed on our screens. I'll check now.
Just asking the players to swap sides so that the screen, you can't see at the minute as we're on camera 2, but if we pulled to a wider camera, we'd be able to just see that we've got the screens that are telling us which player sat in which seat.
So David's break, using a breaking cue, he's absolutely mullered down.
I've got nothing for it.
Both players are now at 10 to 11, for those of you having a bet. There's some good odds available for the Open. I've been looking at players, for instance, you know, Ross Fernie, Ben Davies.
What was Ben at?
He was at 33s, which is ridiculous.
Well, value there, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself on. Ben, though, I mean, he's coming back. He's not necessarily tournament sharp. He's had a bit of a break, so. But obviously, I mean, former world champion, and he's obviously incredible ability. But like the Welsh players, I mean, these, you know, you've got to look at the players who are winning these events, you know, and the likes of Gareth Hibbert.
Mark
Farnsworth, none of them are running around the table.
No, that's true.
And so, you know, you do have Marshy. Marshy's doing well, you know, certainly a placement. He's another player who, has put the work in this week. He's been telling me, not just on his golf. I promised I wouldn't mention golf. Sorry, David, I'm an avid.
You're a boring golfer, aren't you, Dan?
That's the word.
It's balls in holes, but a different game.
Yeah. We'll leave that right there. Lovely shot, well cued. Just wanted it to follow through a little bit more, but he's alright. He's on the one to the top right.
Gareth was on the stream just before the match before this one, or the one before, sorry, I should say. We had Clint just before this, and Gareth before that, and he was playing another Northeast player called Michael Peel. Yeah. It was a scrappy game, but Gareth, you know, he got through 7-5.
Michael seemed to have last ball syndrome. Kept missing easy. Well, I say easy. That's easy for me to say. I've never been on a TV table.
Well, he's just on the audience now, just above the table.
Yeah. No, Michael showed some great cueing, you know, in his first 6 or 5 balls, but just seemed to come up short. And you could see the frustration, because the more it happens, the harder it gets to get out of that habit. Well cued, that one. This one now, natural. See which way he goes about this. He's got 2 options now. I can't see him going through the gap. For me, just roll it in. And then take the black into the left centre, screw him back, and he's got to take the black into the top right. He must be straight enough to miss the black on the way through. Just. Shot. Very well played. And he's in great position here now.
He's taken these well up to now. Still work to do though.
That's a difficult black into the top right.
Well, the straighter you are on it, the easier it is. Unfortunately, his white will be going towards the cushion, so I don't think he'll ever get his hand on the table. Oh, it's just slightly cutting back. It makes it harder into a blind pocket.
He potted that a bit thick, that yellow, didn't he? But there we go. He's still on it. He's giving himself a chance. Pocket weight, so that just in case it doesn't go in, then, you know, he's got the bag. But
a lot of these players, they just stun. They're that confident in the cue actions. But you're right, he has played it slow and it's in.
What a great part that is.
Do you not find that, Dan, that an awful lot? The players, they trust their cue actions that much instead of dollying over bags, they just cue full.
Absolutely, David, yeah. You know, I mean,
I know we're sat next to one now. The queue's full every time.
Yeah, Jack's just saying that he'd have queued that in, but then that's, you know, the style of the player. But
I think it's each to their own. I mean, personally, I'm nowhere near as good as a professional, but I have to strike through the cue ball.
yeah, well, I
I have
suppose
to queue full.
when you've got, I mean, if it was a player like Wardy, Simon Ward, or again one of the Welsh lads, then yeah, I'd be expecting him to
He doesn't
definitely
anything.
cue the ball. But I suppose the slower, you know, the better your cue action is, the more able you're to rely on it at a slower pace, you know. But it's how you see things more often than not, you know, how you feel comfortable, and that comfort is the word that's going to help you perform your best.
I think the worst bit for me is as soon as you think about, oh, I'll play it slow and roll it over the bag if it misses, most of the time it misses and rolls over the bag.
As soon
Whereas
as you,
if you commit and trust your cue action, it goes in.
absolutely, yeah, confidence as well there. I've never been over a pot and thought this is in. Good old smash there,
Break
from
right close to
Michael.
the middle.
and he's got a red and a yellow. What are you taking here for me? It's looking like reds all day long. Just the one at the bottom right corner. Actually, he's got a good angle on this yellow here, so yellows are probably the ball.
Could take reds or yellows here.
Just how he sees it.
I think yellows are probably slight favourite if he can bob the one just south of the black spot and roll a white through the gap for the one along the bottom rail. I could start him off and then the other yellow near the black spot into the middle, the right middle where the red is.
Don't think he can get the angle there though. I mean, it's so... If he's got a little bit of angle on that yellow, he could come off the right cushion with right hand side and get down there. But again, both balls present similar problems, don't they? There's one ball that's making the finish a little bit awkward. Let's see where they go here.
Have you managed to see any other players, any other matches? When did you come down?
I only came down this morning. I was watching the stream yesterday.
Distinct lack of commentary yesterday.
Yeah, to be fair, like if the option was me, they'd probably better having nothing anyway.
I must have been asked 3 times to go on commentary yesterday. I was like, no, I'm still playing.
Did you
get much chance to play? So
So you played yesterday. How did you get on?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, that's probably why he's better not on commentary. He doesn't want to talk.
I watched, the only little bit I did do was on Jimmy Croxton. He was impressive. He played really well.
No,
I haven't really seen any other, I mean, a lot of the top players, they don't come in till today anyway.
And if that yellow goes past the red into the bottom right, then he's looking good here. He can just go straight through. Might be able to use the red over the middle pocket for the yellow. Sorry, we're just having a bit of a shuffle round with the headphones here. I'm going to try and get Jack to do a bit of commentary with us. I'll have to share my mic. I'm not into this.
Good first shot. This is tough because I don't think the black, if he can get the angle to put the black to the bottom right.
Well, I think he can just... he might be able to play it right through and get the black into the bottom right pocket.
That's what he's looking at. No, he's going to have to play it off the red now, I think.
Oh no, I think he can get to the angle there. I think the camera's playing a bit of a trick to your eye.
Is it?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, I think you're right, because he's down on it quick. Oh, it clearly goes, look at that. Confident part as well.
He didn't roll that one in, did he?
No.
A knowing tap on the table from Jack Wheeler, you felt like the whole world was shaking there in your earphones. That was him tapping on the table with the microphone on. How have you got on this weekend so far, Jack?
I played this morning at playing 9 o'clock, and
Bet you were happy about that.
it was terrible.
So you won what score?
I won 7-4, but honestly, the guy should have beat me. To be honest, like I've never seen the lad play before, but yeah, he had enough chances.
Was it Colin Pilcher you played?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, he played pretty solid, to be honest. It's just I couldn't get going at all, and he gave me a good chance at 4-all. I ended up putting my good last ball after I messed up, and then from there I broke and cleared up. Then he tried broke and I cleared up.
Do you think that since you won the World Championships and since you turned professional, that sometimes the opposition feels the pressure a little bit more, and sometimes you can get the extra chance?
I think maybe when you're playing against amateur players, they sort of look at you differently, but when you're playing against the top guys, like I know when I play with other top players, I'm not interested who I play, or I just worry about myself, because I know personally if I play well enough I can win.
And you can compete against
Whereas
anyone.
some of the amateurs, I could see the Colin who I played this morning, I could see him getting tighter. The more shots he was playing towards the end, he was worrying about what was going to happen rather than not concentrating
On his
about
own
winning.
game.
Yeah, he was worrying about me rather than himself.
There's an old saying in pool. It's never let the fear of losing outweigh the feeling of winning. And a lot of people do, and then can't get over the line and can't take the chances against the better players.
Possibly, but I just think, when you're not used to winning, maybe it's different to like the professionals. They're used to winning all the time, so when they're playing against the amateur players, you're off to a good foot anyway, because you're not scared of winning, whereas they're worried about beating you rather than before they start. They're already a couple of frames behind because of they think, oh no, I'm playing Jack, or I'm playing Clint, or I'm playing Gareth Ibbott or Simon, anybody, all the top players. That's why you see a lot of the better players always at the business end of tournaments, because they all seem to get through all the early rounds, even though sometimes we don't deserve to get through. Like today, I should have lost, and if I'd have played anybody that was like a seasoned player, should I say.
You mean one of the better amateurs?
Yeah, I would have got beat without a shadow of a doubt. So I've been lucky to get through, and I've got Scott Ross next, and obviously he's a great player from Scotland. He's an amateur, but he's not. He's like a professional, so it's going to be a good game. And if I don't play well, I will get beat.
So hope for a little bit of improvement.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to, otherwise I'm out. So.
That sounds like a good match to have on this table. Scott Ross, has he been to any events this year so far, Jack?
I think he played in Glasgow, because obviously he's from Falkirk, just there. So I think he played in the Glasgow event, but I'm not sure if he played in any of the other tournaments.
As an amateur, I feel that the tournament sort of starts at 1-2-8-64. So when you play 2-3 rounds, your reward is to play a professional. So I get quite excited by, I won 3 games in the last tour and got to play Jordan Shepherd, which was great because he's one of my favourite players, and just to play him was good, and the reward sort of like, so I look forward to it, and there's no fear of losing because I'm not expected to win.
And Dave, what you said there, David, is really important actually, because it's about building that aspiration of amateur players like yourself, to want to get into the professional ranks, because it becomes prestigious then, and that's what we're after, real prestige here. Now, while we've been listening to Jack's wise words, this frame appears to have got into a bit of a stalemate. Not left himself the angle there to develop this either, and I don't think he'd have wanted to.
No, not off this ball anyway.
think the shot here is to play the plant on the yellows to the top right bag where the guy's got his red ball. Taking the outside one, I think, but see, I'd have played that harder and gone to cover the pocket. If really should have played the plant and put the white to the bottom rail and got the ball over the pocket, so then he's in complete control of the frame, even though now I think he might have even snookered Dave unless he can get through the gap, but Dave's got to hope that Michael messes up here. Like, it's Dave can't really win the frame unless Michael gives him the opportunity to play a skill shot, and really Michael should be closing up the shop. He could even play the plant, the same shot again now, run the white to the bottom rail so he can't leave the cut in middle and leave a safety, but he's not playing the shot again.
Just playing the containing safety again, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's looking at those two yellows that Jack's saying he should plant, and he can just see a wall there. That's all he's thinking, and he's thinking, that's a big area for me to drop that white ball in and keep getting the snooker, but he's not actually making any progress in the frame.
You're going to have to do a better snooker than that for him to get out of at this level.
Yeah, Dave's not going to make any fouls by even leaving him one rails or anything like that. So it's I'd much prefer to knock a yellow over the top right bag than keep on trying to play safety shots, because at least then, for example, if Dave was to hit the balls harder and get lucky or maybe play a skill shot, at least you've got the top bag covered as well as
a second insurance.
Yeah,
a little bit like tying the black
like now.
Well, he's put that in a good spot.
No, that's no good there.
It's a little bit too low, isn't it?
It's too low to get any sort of pace. He could drop it in maybe, but that's about it. I think
what a difference an inch makes.
Yeah. Personally, I would be getting a ball to the top right bag, even if he was to play the top one of the three in line that's in the bulk area now on its own, and just nudge it to the side cushion to cover the red.
So in this sort of spot, if you were yellows, Jack, you wouldn't be looking to do anything special for the foreseeable?
No, I'd just be guaranteeing the frame now.
Just putting pressure on.
Yeah.
Just piling it on the opponent.
The only way I can see Dave winning the frame is if Michael messes up. So I don't see... The only chance that I can see Michael having is if he plots the ball in middle now, leaves the white where his hand is and plays the yellow just cushion first, and then into the reds, potting the yellow over the bag and leaving the other yellow there. But again, he's pushing the boat out for no real reason when he's got the frame won. So personally, I wouldn't be going, and he's overscrewed that as well.
It's dead interesting because you're talking to someone that's so experienced. When the frame does go to this sort of not scrappy, but certainly tactical, the professional players like yourself seem to know exactly what to do a lot more than the amateurs. Like, it looks like he's going to go game here and take a chance that you wouldn't, and you'd wrap the game up, as you said, to a position where you couldn't lose.
Don't get me wrong, he's got a chance here, and he's played a good shot, and if that bounces...
Well, he's worked out really well, but that was risky.
But just for example, that stays on the left side rail, all of a sudden he's got to play one good shot then, and alright, it's bounced out, and he's been a bit fortunate, yeah, and he's landed perfect, but personally, it was a shot too much for me, and he didn't need to play that shot.
It's all about percentage. Oh, what has he done there? Well, is that unlucky? I suppose it is a little bit.
That's not unlucky, that's just a bad shot.
To me, he should have been playing that into the middle pocket and coming down the side rail.
Yeah, I thought he was going to sort of screw into the side rail.
He had a big gap to get to.
Personally, I think he played the shot. I'd have played the shot that he played, but I'd have run into the black at a lot more pace. You shouldn't be going anywhere near just touching the black. I think...
I've watched you quite a lot, Jack, and you do play cannons and hold off balls quite a lot because you like to cue full. Like you said, we spoke about a shot before on the black that you would have stunned in, and Michael rolled it. And you tend to stun and hold off balls more.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't realise it when you're playing as much. I just feel that's the confident way to play.
The shot.
Yeah.
Instead of rolling a ball, you'd rather play it harder and cannon.
I think he's looking at like the cross quad.
He's looking off going 4 cushions.
Yeah, over trap. Oh no,
Well, the
you could
black
see
moved.
that.
So that was a foul, I presume.
No,
No, did the black move? I thought the black moved.
oh yeah, must have.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Good spot from Eagle Eye.
So yeah, that should be 2-2 now, and Michael will be kicking himself because he had a great chance then to go 3-1 up and put a bit of daylight.
Well, it was arguably the tactical nous that cost him. I mean, it did work out, and it was a bad shot in the end, but
See, like that shot then, he should have knocked that ball down the rail, cannoned the ball that's near the middle.
oh dear me. Dear me.
He should have cannoned the ball, the one that was just below the middle pocket that we said earlier. He should have played the plant, like the 3-ball plant down the rail with pace. He could never ever go wrong. And in the end, he's flicked the ball off the cushion and landed. Well, he landed okay still, don't get me wrong, but Dave just rushed out a little bit and he'll be
Yeah, he just
kicking
rushed it.
himself here.
It's a big
And-
pocket now. Oh wow. Chances galore in the 4th frame.
Yeah, Michael won't be happy with that either, and
David really needs to take this chance now. He needs to settle himself down in the match. Every time he comes to the table, he's not getting himself anywhere. Still queuing very hard.
Yeah, I mean, he does hit the ball hard, but he's hitting it even harder than usual. I think he's just trying to inject confidence. That's what it looks like.
yeah, but that can also work against you when you're not confident and you're hitting the balls harder. Things can go wrong.
Yeah, you end up queuing too full, as such.
See, like for example, he should be playing the ball down the rail there and playing the plant, but
But he's played the unconfident way.
well, it's not really the unconfident way. It's just this obviously goes a lot easier than what it looks like on the screen. So, but like he's overrun that a little bit, but he's fine here. There's no problem. He can just drag it in, or he can roll it and play the black in the same pocket.
Yeah. Well, he's done neither, as predicted. He's just raw.
I mean, the way the match has gone so far for me, David's got to be, delighted at being 2-2. It's you feel like he's missed so many chances and still got every chance of winning. He's got to settle himself down now, though. He has to start playing a bit more controlled pool and just control his emotions a little better. Don't want to get frustrated. You can see on the wider camera, we can see that he's a bit fidgety, rubbing his head, cleaning his cue, but he'll settle himself down.
Yeah, at the moment, Michael looks by far the more relaxed player.
Yeah, that was just a mistake that cost him that frame. He shouldn't have missed a double. It was a big bag.
Well, as Jack said, he had a little bit of luck when he played the 3-ball plant, and that's a mistake. The break's the most important shot in Blackball, and to go in the middle bag is criminal.
So Jack, you see this table. How do you see this one panning out? Which balls would you choose?
Personally, I'll be going yellows, because well, you can go either set really. They're both as easy as each other, but the only problem is the ball over the top bag. You've got the yellow, and whereas if you play yellows and you play your first free shot, you could maybe put the white on the white spot and hit the red full ball, so he knocks the yellow to the bottom bag. See, like, he's landed perfect, really.
Yeah, that's okay.
From the shot that he didn't really know where the balls were going to go, but they've landed nice for him.
Just going to top this one through and then play the yellow near the black spot into the right middle, Jack.
That little roll on the yard that just got it past the black was the key there. I mean, it just came out and opened the table up for him. Really just, again, fast decision making. Let's see where we end up after the shot rather than planning it. But he's obviously got a great potting eye and a fantastic ability. If he can just settle down, he'll, like you say, he's not a professional for nothing. He's obviously got bags of skill.
It's just consistent as an amateur last year.
Well, that approach of kind of scaring your opponent can work, and like Jack was saying before, if you're playing against the top player, he doesn't care what you do, it's what he does that counts. Not always the case in the amateur game, aggressive play does progress well through, I don't want to say lesser players, but lesser ranked players, shall we say.
Yeah, as Jack said before, there's not a lot between the professionals and some of the top amateurs. Very little, in fact.
Any amateurs that you see this year, Jack, and you think they've got a good chance of picking up a few events?
There's a lot of amateurs that are good, that can win the events. Yeah, like Greg Batten, he won I think he won the one at Bradford. Was that the last one?
Yeah, he won the amateur.
Yeah. So it's like, and he's a great player. Obviously Scott Ross, who I'm playing later, but all the amateurs that are around, everyone already knows about them. It's not like there's someone that's come up out the blue and winning everything. They're all already good players. So
Ben Rowland.
Yeah, he's another young lad, but it's like he's just turned 18 now and he's going to start drinking and things like that. And he finds out what life's about, so it's...
You mean all the distractions?
Yeah, so it's like now's the time when he'll be really good or he'll fall away a little bit, and he needs to really put the time in right now.
You're supposed to be a good example. I don't want you talking about distractions and the like.
I've gone past all that.
The worrying thing is I actually believe him.
I think he has. You still doing your pool school?
Yeah. Yeah, I still do it, yeah.
I'd be absolutely shocked if I didn't mention a friend of mine, Andrew McKee, who had a very good result in Warwick last year. He beat a certain professional. I think he might have been world champion at the time.
Me? Andrew McKee? What was that in?
It was in the Open.
Yeah.
Done well for getting the losses.
So this is the difference between amateur players and world champions, is that Jack forgets his defeats. He don't care about people who beat him. He's just, all he thinks is next time.
Next time, yeah. He was very happy. Pulled out a performance. Who have you been impressed by so far, Jack? Out of professionals or the amateurs?
To be honest, I've not really took much notice. To be fair, I just keep myself to myself and try and win a few matches nowadays. And if I manage to get through, and then
making yourself sound like an old man, Jack.
That's how I feel.
Married and kids before you know it, and playing golf like Dan.
No kids, and he'd love to come and play golf with me, wouldn't you, mate?
Kids are not too far down the line, I want to thought. But yeah, golf's alright, yeah.
Flipping it.
We've been trying to sort out a game of golf for I can't tell you how long.
Cleaning the image of pool up. We're all golfers now.
Even Marshy golfs. Golf's like an addict.
He needs a buggy though, he does.
And an haircut.
Well, David, while we've been chatting away here, has managed to take out the majority
6
of his
reps.
balls, but he left himself short there. This is a bit awkward now. He's getting down on it quick. He must be able to play off the cushion.
Oh, wow.
What a great shot.
Wow.
Spotted that very
How quickly did you see that? And you must be getting a feeling for what sort of player David is now.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right when we're 6 frames in. You know, you just, in that scenario, it doesn't matter who you are, you know, with his style, it's fine, but I think you've got to play into it. You've got to, you know, in the first couple of frames, you've just got to settle yourself down, because he tried to play like this in the first 2, and ended up, looking at him going, I'm not sure about him, but you can see he's absolute class. But even, those first few frames, just get a bit of composure and then build yourself up to this.
Maybe he just thought, well, you know what, it's not clicked yet, but it's 2-0 and I've not played well.
Yeah, and that's probably, Michael's going to be his regret if he doesn't go on to win this game.
He'll be the first 4.
Yeah, he's not taking advantage when his opponent has got himself into trouble,
Who have you drawn in the pro, Mr. Whelan?
John McAllister.
Yeah,
Yes.
the lad that I was just talking about who beat you last year, he's got him in the Open just now. I think he's playing now.
Oh yeah.
So, if you want to go and remind yourself, It's not often you lose, Jack.
It's not often I win.
How's your season gone this year so far?
You
You had a new cue though, haven't you? Is that right?
Well, I had a new cue made by Jason Owen, but to be honest, I haven't practiced at all, and I haven't really had a chance to get to play with it yet. So it's like
Work and misses.
no, it's nothing to do with work. Yeah, but nothing to do with anything else. Like it's just I just haven't got time to practice, and I wouldn't come to play an event with a new cue, and like I feel I've had my cue that I play with now for like 10 years, so I would never just put it down and play with something else without practicing with it. And I know the only way you can get around that is by just putting your other cue away and practicing. But
playing hours and hours and hours.
when you haven't got time to play, then how are you expect to practice with something that you don't know what's going to happen?
I know exactly how you feel.
When you're playing like a lot of touch and feel shots, it's alright when you're whacking balls around the table in a pub, but
when you need to put that white on a 50p,
and you're under pressure, it's a bit difficult.
Of course,
because the tip size is slightly different and it's a little bit longer than the cue I've got now.
It's just feel really.
I think it's a little bit bigger. It's nothing like probably like a centimetre or so, but it does feel different in my hands, because obviously it's a different piece of wood at the end of the day.
Of course it is. A cue, when you've played as many games as you have, Jack, isn't just an extension of your arm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can when you play. I mean, I've played an awful lot as an amateur. When I pick my cue up, I know if it's my cue with my eyes shut.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to holding it.
Yeah. So after this season has finished, like not this event, the next event after, I'll definitely try and
get some hours in.
Yeah.
Michael's just for me left himself a bit of work. He's got to stun this pretty hard. Yeah, he's done well.
Good shot that was.
Now he's close to the cushion. He's just going a bit awkward here. He's going to come round and have a look if the black goes past into the middle. I don't think the yellow goes past into the middle. I don't think it does. You're going to have to take this into the top right pocket. Just cue this
You
through.
can play the top one.
Oh, it went past.
I can play the top one. Odds have changed dramatically on this match. Michael starting favourite. And it's going to be 4-3 if he pots this black, but I think it's David to break. Oh, Farjo.
Now that's an example again. We talked about how you cue balls in.
And that's a roll in.
He's tried to put that in confidently, hasn't he? Because he didn't fancy it, and he just.
If you're playing a ball like that to middle, there's no margin for error though.
No, not at all.
Not if you're playing it with stun. You've got to be right in the heart of the pocket, and these pockets aren't big. As we've seen, there's been a couple of balls down the rail that I thought were going to go in and haven't.
Just looking at the odds here on the Coral, and just give you a few of the open event outright winners. Got Clint at 4-1, Gareth Hibb at 4-1, Mr. Jack Whelan at 6-1, Jordan Shepherd at 6-1, Wardy 6s, Marshy 8, Dan Davey 8, Let's get a bit of value. Ronan at 11 to 1's good value for me. Neil at 12 to 1.
Ronan was 20s. Started out.
I think these odds have just shifted dramatically with the news just in that I believe Mark Farnsworth has lost in the main event.
Wow.
And that from, I mean, I don't want to labour the point, but that from 6-1 down. To manage to Steve Wall, he was playing. Steve went 6-1 up, managed to fall over the line 7-5.
Has he got it? Oh, very good. You got to be happy with that. Mark, is the most consistent player on the IPA over the last 2 years. Did the double in the last event.
Yeah, Mark. Just a all-round QS really. He'll be sorely disappointed to have come back as he did. Not a bad shot from David there. He's got to cue this well. He's got to get back for the black. Is he going to try and play to middle or just stun across? He's trying to come back, and he's just, he's just not. Just snatched at that a little bit, running round. But this is not that easy either. Not after you've just missed a similar one. He's looking at the middle bag. He should roll it in, really.
Personally, I think Dave should have guaranteed the red then and just stunned across to the side rail and took the black in the bottom bag. But Michael's got a black here and he's made it.
It's 4-3. What?
I think we both thought he'd missed it on the near knuckle there, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought that was just going to catch the near jaw.
Well, since David's just nipped to the toilet, just go back to the odds for the Open. Looking down at the value, Liam Dunster at 20s, cash player Max Nosko at 20s, Simon Fitzsimmons 28, James Croxton still 33s, and he's been practicing a lot. Or if you like the look of David, who's currently playing his 40s.
When you get on these bets, I don't do the betting. I should. There you go. That's the sponsors sponsors input. That is. Can you do each way bets on these? Do they offer each way? And how does that work in pool?
I think you get it pays final 2, and you get half the odds.
Right,
so it's quite good. You don't get like horse racing. Sometimes you get a third or the fifth. Yeah. You get half the odds if they get to the final. So if you were to back, David Compton or Jimmy Kearney are both 40 to 1. And they reach the final, you'd get 20 to 1, which is a magnificent price on players of that sort of standard.
I think Jimmy Croxton at 15s for a place.
Jimmy's
at 33, but you get 15 or 16 and a half.
16 and a half, yeah.
I think that's great value.
And Ben Davies is 33. They're the two that I've looked up and down for this, just simply because of the odds. Unfortunately, with Mark Farnsworth, Jack being an ex-world champion, they get shortened, the odds. And although Jack versus Ben Davies, Jack might fancy himself. On paper that looks like a coin flip to me. What do you say, Jack?
I'm going to let Jack answer that. I was going to jump in, but
coin flip against Ben?
I think he wants me to answer. He doesn't want to. I think
he fancies it.
Well, yeah, and rightly so. Jack's style is Ben is supreme ability.
Attacking.
But again, he's not back to full sharpness.
He's not as clinical as Jack.
Yeah, but that's not to say. It's a race to 7 at the end of the day. So, the odds can't be that short on either of them.
That's my point, really. I mean, over a first to 25. Then that might change, but in a race to 7,
I think Ben's actually a fabulous distance player as well. I've seen him play, quite long races, and he's one of them because it's fits and starts, because it's confidence. Sometimes you can get on a roll and just roll people over. He's not
biting down.
Oh no.
It's not having any of it.
No, Jack knows.
He's too professional.
Looking at the table here,
Golf and slippers.
Michael electing for Reds, but
Again, hard into the middle.
Personally, for me, that's not a bad miss. I think if he'd have potted the red, he'd have ended up going for the finish, and really, it's not there at the moment. I think by missing that, he's gave Dave the opportunity to clear the way for him as well. Because don't get me wrong, it's not like he can't get the finish, but he's got to be knocking them. There's 4 balls on the side rail, so unless he gets an angle to go into them, which he hasn't got at the moment, don't get me wrong, well, he can put the one in the bottom left and go around the back and kick the ball off 2 cushions, but the pace that he's playing the balls at, he's not really got the opportunity yet to go into it at enough pace to knock all the balls out. I think because there's 3 balls there so close together, he's going to like kick the red. He'll move the black out of the way, but the yellow and the red are just going to stay there.
Is he going to play off the red and cannon the yellow onto the red and push it towards the right middle? Or is he going to screw into it?
The shot might be just to stun this dead if he can and leave an angle on the other one. But I'm not really sure how he can knock all the balls out in one shot unless he plays low on the red, cannons into the yellow full ball, kicks the yellow into the red, pushes the red over middle bag.
Yeah, and then lands on the other
and lands on the
one.
other one into the bottom right bag. But it's like a probably 2 in 10 shot. His margin of error is not good. And
for me, on his last shot, he had an angle to at least do some development, and at least then he'd have had these 2 balls that he's looking at now as a backup plan, because it looks like it does need 2 shots to develop them, unless you play a worldie, which is, always requires a little bit of luck. Jack, if you're looking at these 2 players before this match, not on the form now, but because their styles seem quite different, you're talking about attitude playing quite a big part in when you're playing against somebody, and how you judge them. But here, you've got 2 players. Michael's quite careful,
That's a good shot.
quite calm, and yet David, runs around the table, doesn't seem to have any fear of his opponent. What kind of style player do you prefer to play against?
To be honest, I'm not really fussed to it. Like when it comes to styles of player, I understand that each player plays their own style of game, and Dave's a quick player, Michael's a more steady player. You'd probably get more chances if you played Dave, but he can also beat you very easily. So it's one of them games where you like, if you play Michael, it'll be a bit of a more methodical game, whereas Dave could blast you off the table. So it's each their own, but Dave played the shot that we said and kicked the red over middle, and he's got a chance now. I don't know whether he's going to go direct or he's going to go to off the yellow. Personally, I'll be going off the yellow because it's a lot bigger of a target than just the bag. Because if he hits the right hand half of the yellow, he's going to go in.
Well, it was a good shot to get him into this position, and he's done what Jack said, played it off the yellow, gives himself a 5-3 lead.
A big puff out of there from David as he fills in the scorecard.
I'm not surprised. I'd be shattered if I was running around the table like him too.
I think he'll be over the moon at the scoreline. How would you describe the 2 finishes that we've just seen, Jack?
Yeah, the finish was like a good finish, but it's like I'd much prefer to be sitting in my seat and the other guy finishing the balls, because for me it's like they weren't really there. So for him to get them, yeah, he's done a good finish, and don't get me wrong, he's 5-3 up, put a bit of daylight, and there's a massive frame for Michael, and it's not so big for Dave, but if David wins his frame, then he's probably going to win. I mean,
it's a massive frame.
Yeah, 6-3 up, so it's a bigger frame for Michael than it is for David, but obviously with him being 4-3 up, he could take that chance of going for that finish, whereas with it being if it was 4-3 down, for example, he wouldn't have been able to play that. I wonder if Michael's just been a bit fortunate and this top red goes past the other red, and if it does, he's got a great opportunity. And by the way he's looking at the balls, it's really tight, but I think it goes. And he could actually play a sort of a little bit of a shot to nothing, like if he screws back to on top of the top yellow.
Oh, well,
See, I thought that was him, but
a lot. We've seen a lot. Jack, have you played on the stream table yet? Because a lot of balls we've seen go close haven't dropped.
I've not played on the stream table yet, no.
It seems to be playing a little bit tight.
That's always better though.
Yeah, you prefer
Yeah, I
that?
prefer it, yeah. I think that if you're going to win, then you deserve to win. And when there's obviously more pressure on it, the bags are tighter, it's more difficult.
Are you looking forward to the new events?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. It can only be better for the game, and obviously pumping a lot of money into it, Correlav, and it's only good for all the professionals and
TV coverage pretty soon.
So hopefully it all takes off, and don't get me wrong, everything's set in stone, but we still need to make it happen. And
I think once the prize money does reach a certain standard, it will blow.
Yeah, of course. You're going to see a lot of players that maybe play on the other, not the rival tour, but the other tours that are going to be saying, "Oh, it's never going to happen," and all this like that. Yeah, personally, they can say that, but
well, he's done it though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
well, he's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, and when you see the money that's getting pumped into it, and when we actually have the tournaments, then you're going to see the better players coming back over, and you're going to see them playing. I can see that all the big players that are not on our tour coming back to play on our tour, just because of the money's there. And
as soon as you've got sort of like a 10 grand first prize,
the better players go where the money is. As simple as that. It's like when darts was first starting out, and you had the BDO and the PDC one, and the money. All the best players went where the money went. And now look at the standard difference. It's unbelievable, really. And
how do you see sort of like the format for a pool match that could go on telly and be watched in the same fashion as darts? Do you have any sort of ideas, or are you just happy to play whatever's put in front of you?
Personally, I'm not really fussed about sets or straight races. It doesn't really make a difference to me. Like, I'll play first to 3 or 4 in a set, or I'll play first to 7 in a straight race.
The sets is nice for the World Championship. It seems a very fair way of completing a match.
Yeah.
Gives you a chance, if you lose the first or even the second set in a best of 5.
Yeah, there's always pressure on. That's the one thing I do like about it is there's always pressure on, because even when you're 2-0 up in a set, you're never out of the set, just for the pure fact of it's one break and you can lose the set.
Absolutely. Well, it's probably happened on more than one occasion, that I should imagine.
Yeah.
How do you feel about sort of like a 30-second shot clock or something like that?
See, something like that wouldn't bother me as much. Like, I don't really mind playing
because darts is, it's not as complicated as pool. Obviously, you're throwing a dart at a board, the board doesn't move, but it's fast and it's over, and it's all about the mind games, and that's why it's popular.
Yeah, of
As
course.
a spectator sport,
Of course,
when
yeah.
you think about the prizes for the World Championships in comparison to the pool, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive gulf in, and that's the difference really. The respect you get from, like, you walk down the street and people will know who Taylor is, people will know who Gerwin is, people will know Ronnie, Selby, they know who these people are. Whereas when we walk down the street, no one even knows. Like,
Only
we walk
the
to a
odd
pool
few.
club and they won't even know who he was.
Only
So-
us fans, Jack.
Yeah, but that's the difference, isn't it? Like, you see people like Gareth Potts, for example, who's
He's just walked in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like now he's getting that way to sort of like a household name, same as Mick Hill, same as Darren Appleton. People that don't even know about pool know these people.
Yeah, because they just simply because of exposure.
Yeah.
Gaz, obviously Chinese 8-ball, I believe Mick has gone over.
Yeah,
But I think it's good that we'll be streaming live into, I think it's 4,000 Coral shops next year, so people will go into bookies, and a lot of people that go into bookies play pool and then end up watching it and probably had never heard about it before, because there's a lot of towns up and down the country that probably don't even know about the IPA.
yeah.
So any exposure is good. Sometimes, Jack, I sit here on Sunday and commentate on the professional competition, and I feel it's an honour just to sit and watch, Soon they'll be charging for tickets.
So there's a great chance here for Dave to get
On
take
the
a
hill.
6-4 lead and be massive control and big favourite to win the match. All he's got to do is play one good shot. Really, it's not this or the next one. It's the one after to get the ball down the rail. He's not thinking about this shot or the next shot. He's thinking how to play the third red to get onto the right side rail.
Yeah, you'd take that one last, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's got to take that one last for the black, yeah. So I think now he'll just screw back a couple of inches.
Get himself
No,
in there.
he'll drop it in and he'll
Drop it in and play it to the
run
top
through,
left.
Play to top left, yeah, and he'll want to land as straight as possible.
Has he gone a little bit too far? I think he might have done.
I think he's fine just to nip into the red, to the
Nip
yellow
into
side.
the yellow.
Yeah, and he'll just leave the white where the yellow is, no problem. I think he might even be able to just screw off the yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well judged.
So now he's just got to guarantee the pot. Nothing silly, take the black in middle.
Oh, it's wobbled, but it's gone in. And the simplest of blacks will put him on the hill. Good finish. You ever played Chinese 8-ball?
Yeah, I went to China last year and played in the World Championships there this year, sorry, in January I think it was.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, it was a really good year, great experience, and
There's only a couple of tables in the country, aren't there?
yeah, Glasgow got one, there's one in Peterborough, one in Loughborough. I'm not sure where else, I know there's a couple in Scotland. Scott Gillespie's got one, I think.
Where's that white? Oh,
Scott Gillespie's got one, I think, in near like Hamilton sort of area. I think it is. I'm not too sure though.
where are you living, Jack? You still
I live in Derby.
Derby?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, I get invited to go back again by Star to play again next year. It was a really good experience for a few of the English 8-ball players to go over and play
Yeah, there was quite a few of you because you missed Newport, didn't you?
Yeah, missed the first tour in Wales, but like it was unbelievable. Like how you got treated, and you understand what the professional snooker players get treated like.
Superstars.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's unbelievable, to be honest. You don't understand it until you actually go there and you play in the surroundings that you play in. It's like nothing else, and
it's
obviously
a different world.
I've played in like a lot of big games, and I've never felt pressure like how I felt over there. It's unbelievable.
Just because of the amount of people watching.
Yeah, people watching, the toughness of the game, just the quality of your opponents.
They say when Ding plays in the World Championship, 400 million people
they said
watch him.
They said something around like Mick Hill played Ding in the first round of it, and they said there was around 100 million people watching.
Wow, I mean that's more than the population of the UK. We've got 70 million here.
But it's live on their TV, and their TV, like the main channel of their TV is like bigger than Sky Sports, sort of thing. So it's like, it's not like you're gonna watch a Sky Sport like Channel 1. It's like the ITV of theirs. Like everybody's got it on their TV.
It's terrestrial as such.
Terrestrial, yeah. So it's like, and I think that's why Gaz is obviously he's signed to a big. I'm not 100% sure what, but I know he's signed to a big TV channel. So he gets like a lot of exposure through that, and they're crazy over there.
Sorry, say again.
They're crazy over there.
Yeah, they're mad for it. I mean,
yeah, they love it.
I've just read Steve Davis's autobiography, and he said exactly the same as what you said when he's been over the last 20 years. The growth. I mean, you're saying that in some of the schools it's part of the curriculum to play snooker.
Yeah.
That's how mad they are. I mean, that'd have been great here, wouldn't it, when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Getting to play cue sports at school. They love it.
It's like, for example, like you're walking around and people are asking for like pictures and things and autographs.
You feel like David Beckham over there.
It's not so bad for us players because they don't really know us. But you know, for like people like Gareth and Darren Appleton and Mick Hill and Chris Mellin, they're all known over there through well, obviously Chris is through the snooker, and they just they love him really. Like you wouldn't believe that they were the same person over here as what they are over there, because they just get treated.
Yeah, like kings. And I mean, it's noted up and down the country. Snooker clubs have been closing, if anything.
Yeah.
Whereas somewhere like Beijing, there's 4,000 clubs. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, really. It's just a massive game, and everyone over there just loves pool, loves any sort of cue sport, really. So it's like there's nothing you can really compare to it, because there's so many people there, and they all love the same thing.
I think I'd be in my element over there, Jack.
Yeah. There must be around like, well, do you know where the World Open was? Do you know the last snooker tournament that was just on Eurosport?
Ali Carter won, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was the same venue that we played at.
Oh right, okay.
When we went to play,
arena.
and it was big. It's
a good
great,
safety shot, that is. He's got to get tight in behind this red and block the pot to the left middle. Okay.
So I've got to go now and
get ready for your match.
For my game, yeah. I'm on in around 15-20 minutes time.
Who did you say you were playing?
Scott Ross.
Scott Ross. Good luck, Jack. Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers.
Yeah, back to the game. He's played a good snooker there. The problem isn't hitting the red, it's getting it safe. If he plays onto the easiest of the reds, he's got to block the pot to the left middle. Otherwise it could be the last shot he plays. It's all about the pace. He doesn't like it. You wouldn't be surprised if he does attempt playing out of this snooker onto another red. Ideally, he'd like to hit the red at the top of the table, but it's just so tough. So here we go. Oh, he's played it hard and tried to come off it thin, and I think he's had a result there. Because he couldn't guarantee where that red was going, and I think it's blocked the path of the pot, that only pot that would have been left for Dave, and he's not happy. Hard to spot a safety shot, so just sort of containing the situation a little bit. That's probably as good as he could have done there. He's always going to leave a pot on, but this is far from easy. Might not even... Well, I think whether he decides to go game will depend on if the red in the middle of the table, the middle of the cluster of the yellows, passes into the bottom right. If it does, then he might decide to take this pot on. If it doesn't, then he'll probably play safe. Seems to be playing safe off the one in the right middle. Oh, well, I presume David fouled then. Apologies. Dave mustn't have hit a cushion. He's used his free shot to open up the cluster. So a very good chance now to make this 6-5. Ideally would have liked to have left this ball till last, I should imagine. As he's just got a slight difficult positional shot off the last red to get on the black. Oh, what has happened there? I think it's come out of the middle of the pocket. He'll be absolutely livid. If we could get a replay, I'd love to see that again. Well, if that is his last shot, he will be absolutely gutted. Oh, I think he's going to have to take the one to the right middle now. And come up and down. And he's fine. That's a good shot. Very good shot. Good performance, Michael Oliver. A bit scrappy at the start from both players. David will be relieved to get into the last 32, and Michael will be extremely upset in the manner he lost the match in the last frame from what looked like a bounce out from the middle of the pocket. We'll be back shortly. I presume it'll be 1:30. with the next match. Thanks for listening. What happened on the last one? You bounced out the middle of the pocket. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I tell you, the pockets have been running tight. We can tell we're right, babe. We've got a view that's right behind. We've had a... Difficult positional shot off the last red to get on the black. Oh, what? On the black. Oh, what has happened there? I think it's come out of the middle of the pot. Positional shot off the last red to get on the black. Oh, what has happened there? I think it's come out of the middle of the pocket. He'll be absolutely livid. Slight, difficult positional shot off the last red to get on the black. Oh, what has happened there? I think it's come...